What's going on, my Essential Units? Is the Sentiment here, so back again with another classic Royal Rumble pay-per-view review. So we're nearly at the end of the month of January, so the Royal Rumble season is nearly at our rearview mirrors. So I'm going to review one more classic Royal Rumble show before the month is out. So I did like a poll on my community tab. What classic Royal Rumble show you want me to review to end the 2023 Royal Rumble season? Royal Rumble 2000 or Royal Rumble 2008? And the winner is Royal Rumble 2000, a show I'm going to talk about right now. So this show was at Madison Square Garden, or MSG for short, in New York City on the 23rd of January 2000. The attendance of the show was 19,231. Royal Rumble 2000 received about 590,000 pay-per-view buys, a downgrade than the 1999 Royal Rumble buy rate. They received about 650,000 pay-per-view buys. That show was known for Vince McMahon, or Mr. McMahon, winning his one and only Royal Rumble match against his nemesis, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Plus, you got the brutal I Quit match between Mankind versus The Rock for the WWF Championship. So, fast forward to the year 2000. For many fans, they consider the year 2000 for the WWF. It was one of the best years in the company's history because they're making a lot of money, plus the star power. The WWF was in an all-time high, and their main competition, World Championship Wrestling, was in a decline. I don't want to get into that. So, like the star power, and also they're building their upcoming talents like Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho. They soon to add Chris Benoit to the company because he jumped ship to WCW, and Eddie Guerrero. Anyway. So the first half of 2000, you got some star power, like the main stars in the company, like you got like The Rock and Triple H, and you could say Mick Foley. But the other two main stars, like Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Undertaker, is still recovering from injuries. Austin, recovering from the neck injury. He had it since 1997, and also Undertaker suffered a groin injury. That was in the autumn of 1999. He was the main poster boy for that year's Unforgiven. Anyway, Dory, they end up returning later on in the year. Anyway, so I think the commentators for the show are JR and the King. So this show is also televised by Channel 4. Channel 4, if you're not from the UK like myself, I'm going to explain. Channel 4 is you could say, I call it a small TV channel. It's not on the same level like BBC. The main two in this country is BBC and ITV. But Channel 4, they're very lucky they got this deal with the WWF. Back then WWF was on Sky, and right now it's on BT Sports. I'm talking about that's in our current timeline, but back then it was on Sky Sports. I think Channel 4, it's like the Raw and SmackDown was beyond Sky. I think Heat and some pay-per-views are on Channel 4. So I think they signed like a I think it was a 1-year deal or something like that, and it never lasts long. We'll get to that later on in this review. So this show, Royal Rumble 2000, is memorable for, you can say, three things. I mentioned the fourth one because it was broadcast on Channel 4. This is the pay-per-view for, spoiler alert, for The Rock. Guess what? Rock wins the 2000 Royal Rumble match. We'll get to that Royal Rumble match in the main event later on in this review. You got that brutal, a really brutal, not brutal, but kind of like this epic street fight not epic, but a really good street fight between Triple H and Cactus Jack. We'll also get to that later on in this review. And also, this show was in MSG, the first time that a Royal Rumble's host at MSG. The next time they do a Royal Rumble at MSG will be in 2008, 8 years later, and haven't really done a Royal Rumble show at MSG ever since. I think they'll probably do it. It's been a long time since the company did a pay-per-view at MSG. I know they did like a televised event way back in 2015, but that's not really a pay-per-view. You could say a glorified house show anyway. So, and also this is the first, you could say, call it the first pay-per-view of the McMahon-Helmsley era. I'll talk about that, when I review the Triple H Cactus Jack match, later on. So, anyway, let's talk about the one segment on the show that killed off the Channel 4 deal. This is a Miss Rumble swimsuit contest. Wow. Like, doing a swimsuit contest in the month of January, because January is a cold season. If they'd rather done it, they should have done it in the summertime when it's hot. That's just me. Anyway, so it's hosted by Jerry the King Lawler. And you got like former legends, as judges, like WWF alumni, like Sergeant Slaughter, Tony Guerrera, Johnny Valiant, Freddie Blassie, and the Fabulous Moolah. Plus, you got comedian Andy Richter as the special judge. So Andy Richter is, I think he was a co-host of the Conan O'Brien show. So yeah, you gotta have a celebrity for this. So anyway, so the competitors in this Miss Rumble 2000 swimsuit contest, you got Ivory, Terry, the former Marlena, Jacqueline, BB. That's short for Barbara Bush. It's funny that Barbara Bush is the wife of future President of the United States of America, George Bush Jr., and he ended up becoming the United States President later on, or at the end of the year. She was gone. She was more like a personality, a TV personality for the company. Luna Vachon and the Cat, formerly known as Miss Kitty. The Cat at the time is the current women's champion. One of the most forgettable women to hold the women's title in any eras, whether it's the current women's titles of right now and the old women's title, I think it's the black and green one. Because Miss Kitty used to be like China's psychic. Now she's branched off on her own. And the Cat is, I think at the time, married and I think was dating and marrying Jerry the King Lawler. That led up to, Lawler and Miss Kitty leaving the company the following year in 2001. And also Lawler and the Cat end up, her real name Stacey Carter, by the way, end up getting divorced in 2003. Anyway, so this show, this contest, I feel like they should have done this on Raw or SmackDown. I said it in my, classic reviews, like whether it's WWE or WCW, like doing a segment on pay-per-view just never worked. It just came across a segment you probably see on a weekly wrestling show. But it was just killing time on the pay-per-view. So, like Ivory and Luna, they kind of like don't want to do it. Luna surely don't want to do it, show off her bikini. Ivory had no choice. I think like Luna and Ivory are the heels. And then you got Jacqueline and Terry and Barbara Bush are the baby faces, showing off their bikini. Then out come Mae Young, announced that her participation in this contest, at the time she was in her 70s, I think. She entered this swimsuit contest, showing off her swimsuit. And then here's the coup de grace of this. This segment is a jizz fest for Jerry the King Lawler, because his character at the time, this show's in the Attitude Era, he always jizzed his pants over women with big breasts. So Mae Young showed off her breasts. Holy crap, and there was a big X, on the screen, and then you got Mark Henry coming out to cover her up. I think maybe it was not during this time. Maybe it's not. I think it was 99 or 2000. It's in a certain time period. You had this segment on, was it Raw or SmackDown? At the time, they did a segment called GTV that Mark Henry at the time, who was sexual chocolate, had sex with Mae Young. Wow, it's Attitude Era, you can get away with murder. So anyway, the judges announced that the nominees decided. I think I say it right. A nominal winner of this Miss Rumble 2000 swimsuit contest is Mae Young. Wow, it's basically they basically trying to have your cake and eating it too. I think it was a dumb segment. I don't get me wrong. I like women. Don't get me wrong. Don't go and say, oh, I'm gay. No, no, no. I say I like seeing like hot women wearing bikinis and underwear. I understand why. Great example why I like the segment between Dawn Marie and Tori Wilson from Armageddon '02, but it didn't really serve a purpose. Like you got two women like Luna and Ivory don't want to be there. But Mae Young, in her at the time 70s or 80s, or soon to be pushing 80, showing off her breast. I'm glad they uncensored it. It's just they go too far. I understand they're trying to push the envelope. It's giving Lawler heart palpitations because, like I said, he likes women with hot breasts. Some of these Mae Young segments over the years, you could say in some certain degree it's kind of funny, but at the same time, it doesn't really age well. It's a great example like Bad Blood '03, kissing, kissing Eric Bischoff, giving him the sink face, and great example in 2011, Mae Young and The Rock making out. Some of these Mae Young stuff on WWF/WWE television doesn't really age well. So let's get back to the Channel 4 deal. It was after this segment, it was controversy for both companies, the WWF and Channel 4. This completely kills off the deal with Channel 4 in the UK. And then the product is back to Sky. That lasts until I think it was until 2019. Right now it's in BT Sports. So yeah, I think this segment didn't do nothing. It really killed off that any chance of a deal. Let me see if they never done this segment. If they still doing shows or rather produce some of the pay-per-views and some of the product shows, WWF TV shows. I'm trying to say on Channel 4. Who knows? But for me, it's just like, if you want to do this type of segment, do an all-weekly TV show. Don't really, kill time on a pay-per-view that you spend a lot of money. Wrestling pay-per-views are designed they are basically live action highlight reels. That's just me. That's my 2 cents on this Miss Rumble 2000 swimsuit contest segment. Anyway, let's talk about the matches on the show. So the first match to kick off Royal Rumble 2000, we got Kurt Angle taking on the debuting of Taz. Angle's like, you could tell, he's still not finding his character yet. We get over later on in the year. This is his rookie year for the company. You could say breakout year for the company for Kurt Angle because he debuted at Survivor Series in November the previous year. He called out his mysterious opponent that, take a deep breath and enjoy your third eye, something like that. He's not, he was kind of corny on the mic. He said like, I'm the true champion. He's still a babyface. You can tell he got better. Later on in the year. So yeah. And out comes Taz. He had the heartbeat, and Taz's theme music played. He got really like a big pop. And also on Wikipedia, he's pointing down the New York Knicks. Anyway, so and also during Angle's promo, the fans chanting "We want Taz," Anyway, Taz, this is his first match in the company. He came from ECW. The match between Taz and Kurt Angle, it was okay. It wasn't terrible. It was an okay match. It really didn't got enough time. I think it only lasted about 3 minutes. Angle, it was not really like squashing Kurt Angle. Angle do had some offense. I think he suplexed Taz on the floor outside of the ring. In the end, Taz hits like the T-bone, was it the T-bone suplex, and in the end he locked Angle with the Taz submission. Joey Styles called it the Kaja, was it the Kaja Haja main it's called, so I'll call it the Taz submission. So Taz locking the submission move onto Angle, and Angle passed out. It's for the best, man. He protects Angle pretty well instead of making him tap out. So Taz won this match and ended Kurt Angle's undefeated streak. And then afterwards, you got paramedics and basically put a oxygen mask onto Kurt Angle's face. And maybe at the time, maybe Angle was fucked up, because maybe Taz hurt him badly. I know it's wrestling and scripted, it's choreographed, but they're trying to believe this. Yeah, they're trying to sell you that. They're trying to. It really accomplished a little bit like, oh, the Taz mission is one of the most not deadly, but one of the most physical submission holds in professional wrestling history. He can choke you out. So anyway, so later on on the show, there was a segment when Kurt Angle and I think it was a black paramedic, or paramedic. So my apologies. So the black paramedic kind of shined the torch in the eyes of Kurt Angle, because Angle's seeking medical attention. He says, "Did I win?" The black paramedic says, "I don't know." He said, like, "I'm still undefeated," but I think it kind of softened the blow of Taz's win. But that's a load of shit. It didn't. It's not like this match kind of ended Kurt Angle. No. I think he kind of came back strong. He went on to have really good moments. Not good moments, but good wins for him over the coming months of the year 2000. Like great example. Like he went on to win both the Intercontinental and European titles to forge the Eurocontinental title. Then he went on to win the King of the Ring tournament at King of the Ring 2000 in, I think it was June or July. Then in October, he won his first World Championship against The Rock. That sums up his rookie/breakout year for Kurt Angle. So let's get back to Taz. Taz, yeah, I think this is the only best moment for Taz as a wrestler in the company. And after that, he did do nothing after that. It's a really damn shame for him, for Taz. He came from ECW. He's basically a small fish in a big pond. It's like in ECW, he's like soon to be a big fish in a small pond. Now he's just a small fish in a big pond. Really cannot thrive in this big company. I think they missed the boat on Taz, like becoming this top star in the company. He ended up retired in 2002. Become a commentator, and then he last for another 6 or 7 years before leaving the company in 2009. But I'm talking about as a wrestler, I think they missed the boat on him. Really missed the boat. There's a lot of money on the table for Taz to do well in the company. I think my theory that I think the top spots were taken, for in the mid card and the main event scene. If Taz debuted years before this, or years after this, maybe it might work out differently for Taz. So it's a really missed opportunity for Taz, becoming this top star. And yeah, they just didn't do nothing for him. Maybe they'll probably say he's too small, something like that. But I think they missed the boat on him. Anyway, that's the opener. So let's talk about the next match on the show. So the next match, this is a tag team tables match. So we've got the Dudleys taking on the Hardy Boys. The Dudleys, coming out like they're basically taking shots. They have to heal up their. I think you can say the hometown boys in this. I think they're from New York City. even though yeah, they are the hometown boys, the Dudleys, Bubba, Bubba and Devon. They're from New York City. Like, heal up their own town, and also they're taking shots of John Roca, or Rocker, whatever you call him. I'll call him Rocker. So John Rocker is a baseball player, plays for the Atlanta Braves. I think he was taking shots of the people of New York City, because at the time, the New York Mets, I think they fought the Atlanta Braves in the the National League Championship. Anyway, like Rocker tries, Rocker's taking shots and trashing the people of New York City, and also at this moment in time, you can tell Bobber is still doing the stuttering gimmick. It doesn't really age well. I'm glad he stopped doing it, in the rest of his run in the company. Anyway, so there's one segment on the show. You had yeah, Terry says she says like we're gonna tear the roof off of Madison Square Garden. Jeff says Terry no. I watched Brian Zane's review of the show. Because Jeff Hardy has like a Southern American accent. Because he's from North Carolina. I think the wrestler with a proper Southern American accent has to be AJ Styles. You can listen to his interviews. You can tell he's got that proper accent. Like, great example. Like, this is way back in 2016. Chanting towards Jericho, why to jackass? Anyway, let's get back to this match. So, fun match to watch. It was a fun match. Tables matches that can end up being a hit or a miss. This is not slightly. Actually, fuck that. It's not slightly a hit. It was basically a good hit, a 3-star hit. It was fun to watch. So the first person got eliminated. I think it was Bubba got eliminated. He went through the table after Matt and Jeff. Jeff hit the leg drop off. He hit the leg drop off the ladder, and Jeff basically did some kind of pattern dive at the same time to eliminate Bubba Ray. I'm talking about the eliminations, by the way. And then Matt got eliminated by Bubba Ray. After he got eliminated, hit Matt with a powerbomb off the top rope, or a super bomb. Then the ending was cool. You had Jeff low blow Bubba Ray. Bubba kind of like fall off the balcony. They're fighting on the balcony of the first and second floor of Madison Square Garden. And yeah, Bubba kind of fall off the balcony and went through the table. And Jeff Hardy, you probably see this in many compilation video when WWE do this compilation videos of Jeff Hardy. Like, great example, the when he jumped off the Raw set in 2008. Jeff Hardy did like his swanton bomb. He swanton bomb off the balcony and put Devon, I think it was Devon, through the table to win this match for his team. And yeah, this is they're gonna have bigger and better things for both the Hardys and the Dudleys later on in the year 2000. They're gonna end up having epic matches, in the year 2000. Great example, that iconic triangle ladder match for the tag team titles at WrestleMania 16, plus TLC 1 at SummerSlam, and also TLC 2 at WrestleMania 17 the following year. So wow, you can tell the Hardys, Dudleys, Edge and Christian, they're going to have some really good epic matches in not just in the year 2000, but the following year in 2001. But anyway, I think it was a good, fun tables match to watch. Jeff ended up recreate that spot at Survivor Series in 2002. Anyway, moving on to the first of 3 championship matches on the show. This is for the undisputed Intercontinental Championship. So we got Hardcore Holly taking on the co-Intercontinental Champions, that's Chris Jericho and Chyna. So in late 1999, Jericho and Chyna, they kind of trade back and forth with the IC title belt. Then they fought on SmackDown for the belt, and then they did like this kind of like a double pin. So no decisive winner. So decides Jericho and China, they are the co-champions of the Intercontinental title, and then they throw Bob Harley into this. We'll get to that shortly. So like, there's one segment before this match. Jericho and China arguing who's gonna wear the Intercontinental title belt. There's some chemistry between Jericho and China, man. I'll get to more of that later on. So, anyway, the triple threat match for the IC title, it was an okay match. Wasn't amazing. It wasn't gonna be like a 4-star classic. Not terrible. I feel like it was kind of sorry, I got something in my throat, man. Anyway, it wasn't like terrible, but at the same time, wasn't gonna be like a 4-star classic. Bit filler. First off, Hardcore Harley had no business to be in this match. Like I think he beat Jericho and China in the road to this match on this pay-per-view. Anyway, it was he had some fun moments, like Jericho locked in the walls of Jericho onto Hardcore Harley. China broke the hold. Then China hit the handspring elbow and a DDT onto Jericho. He had some good moments, and also China hit the pedigree onto Hardcore Holly, because at the time China was in a relationship with Triple H, and then soon, the affair broke out between Triple H and Stephanie, and that changed China's future, and the rest is history. Anyway, I'm trying to keep it short and simple. In the end, I think Jericho hit China with a one-handed bulldog and the Lion Salt to pin China and become a solo holder of the belt. I think it was better off they just do one-on-one, winner takes all. I understand why they've been, they fought Survivor Series, they fought Armageddon the previous month. I get it, but I think, I understand they're trying to fresh things up, but I think it was better off flowing if they had China and Jericho fight for the belt, fight like add in a stipulation, whether a ladder match or something like that. But anyway, Holly had no business to be in this match. He ended up being in the Rumble match. All three competitors in this match will be in the Rumble match. But I think there's just if they fry better, they just have Jericho China for the belt. It's like I said earlier. I think they missed a great opportunity to have Jericho and China teaming up. I think there's some chemistry between Jericho and China. They kind of branch off. Like by the way, Jericho end up losing the Intercontinental title belt to Angle the following month at No Way Out. Then they kind of branch off. And then China end up in this on-screen relationship with Eddie, the Mamacita storyline, and then, and that was the end. It started when Jericho treating China like shit, breaking her hand or thumb with a hammer, and then afterwards, they kind of branch off and doing their own thing. So, anyway, let's move on to the next match. By the way, so the next match, this is the second of 3 championship matches on the show. This one's for the WWF Tag Team Championships. New Age Outlaws defending the belts against the Acolytes. Anyway, so DX was formed, as a heel group. This was the start of the whole McMahon Helmsley era. We'll get to that when I review the next match. So, the Outlaws are the heels, but they got like a babyface reaction, like the fans like reacting to, "Oh, you never know, you better call somebody." The match was only short, and this is the last pay-per-view match for the Acolytes. They end up like becoming the APA. I'll get to that. I'll talk about it shortly or after this match. Nothing much to talk about. I think this is the weakest match on the show. It doesn't mean it's a terrible match. By the way, there's no bad match on the show. There were kind of like good to okay matches. This is technically an okay match. My nitpick is about it's too short. Maybe it's time constraints. I think they played a massive part. You had Bradshaw hits the clothesline from Hell from I think it's onto Billy Gunn, and then Farouk hit the spine buster on Road Dogg Jesse James. Then he was going for the pin. And then you got X Pac, the Outlaws fellow DX member, interfered. Hit the spinning heel kick onto Bradshaw. Gunn hit Bradshaw with the Famouser to win this match and retain the tag team titles. That was it. Yeah, like I said, that was the last time that the Acolytes would be known as the Acolytes. Then they'll become the Acolytes Protection Agency. It was put together by Vince and Shane because they attend JBL's or Bradshaw's birthday party, and then like they kind of him and Farouk kind of agree with the whole idea. They're kind of like typical rednecks on TV, drinking beer, playing cards, They got they're getting really over, end up doing like bar poker segments and barroom brawls, it's just what it is, and now both JBL and Farouk are now in the WWE Hall of Fame. So let's move on to the next match. So the next match is the third and final championship match on the show, and this is, in my opinion, the match of the night. So this is a street fight for the WWF Championship. Triple H defending the belt against Cactus Jack, aka Mick Foley. So like I said, this pay-per-view was the start of the whole McMahon Helmsley era. It began like in Armageddon '99 in this match between Triple H and Vince. Yeah, this whole storyline between Triple H and Stephanie in cahoots, and basically forced Vince out of power in storyline wise. He came back in the year 2000, and it went downhill after WrestleMania 16. I don't want to get into that. Anyway, on the first Raw of the McMahon Helmsley era and the first Raw of the new millennium, the first Raw of the 2000, the new year, whatever you call it, Triple H defeat the Big Show for the WWF Championship. And also on the same night, Mankind kind of confront Triple H and Stephanie, and they kind of put Mick Foley or Mankind in a match against The Rock. It was a pin slip on a pole match that The Rock wins. Mick Foley got fired, so for weeks now, Triple H was basically taking the piss and really mocking Mick Foley. There was one segment about like he's a doctor, dressing up like a doctor. You got this fake Mankind that's played by Dennis Knight, aka Midian. Really mocking Mick Foley, Mankind. So anyway, The Rock kind of staged a walkout if Mick Foley is not reinstated. So they reinstated Mick Foley, and I think they had a championship match on the show. They had the championship match on the Raw when Mick Foley got reinstated, or some kind of beatdown. Then on that SmackDown, I think it's for many fans, like I said, you had Mick Foley transform into Cactus Jack, taking off the Mankind gear with the mask and the shirt and tie, and he wearing his Cactus Jack attire, and this is set up this match on the show. And there was a video package of Mick Foley's like matches in Japan, not ECW because ECW was still in business at the time. Anyway, this is the first match in years, like a one-on-one match in years, and forgot to here's a note that Madison Square Garden was the first match of Cactus Jack in the WWF against Triple H, or at the time he was Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Anyway, go and check out my review of that Raw. Just on my playlist, it's my WWF 1997 reviews, and you've probably found my review of Raw in MSG. That was in September of 1997. Anyway, this was really good. Mick Foley and Triple H, they had some good chemistry, and this was good. It was brutal, like the fighting in the crowds, fighting in the entranceway. I think there was like Triple H like gush his like leg, Like there was a wooden box, Jack suplex Triple H onto that wooden box. He suffered like a cut on his calf. They there was a barbed wire, barbed wire, two by four, used in this match. Hebner snatched off the plank with the barbed wire off the hands of Cactus Jack. He gave it to one of the Spanish announcer. I think it was Carlos Cabrera or Hugo Savanovich, and then Cactus Jack kind of clocked one of the Spanish announcers. Was it Savanovich or is it Cabrera? It's one or the other. So one of the Spanish announcers gave a Cactus Jack the barbed wire 2x4. He kind of used it on Triple H, and Triple H bled. He bled buckets in this match. Yeah, like I said, I think it was a really good match. It's not on the same. I don't recall it. You could say it's kind of on the same level as Cactus Jack, Randy Orton from Backlash '04. There was a handcuff in this match. The handcuff spots. Triple H handcuff Cactus Jack. I think this was the shades of the I Quit match from the previous year between Mankind and The Rock. Cactus Jack kind of egged Triple H on to hit him with the chair. Then out comes The Rock. Rock and Mick Foley were former tag team partners. The Rock and Sock connection. Hit Triple H on the head with the chair. I feel like Cactus Jack kind of power dried Triple H onto the announce table. It's funny, like hitting someone on the head with the chair was allowed, and then funny that like 10 years later, they end up banning chair shots to the head. Anyway, so then after Rock attacked Triple H with the chair, there was a police officer came out of nowhere and unlocked Mick Foley's off the handcuffs, and then we got the coup de grace of this match. You got the thumbtack spot. So basically, Cactus Jack kind of poured the thumbtacks into the ring. It's a shame we're not going to see thumbtacks in WWE product anymore. This is what it is. You're not going to get like an old classic hardcore match in today's WWE product. It's just never going to happen. It's PG. It's what it is. You have to watch Impact Wrestling or AEW for hardcore matches with thumbtack spots. So anyway, Stephanie she didn't interfere. She interfered once in this match, and Triple H back body dropped Foley or Cactus Jack onto the piles of thumbtacks. Then he hit Cactus Jack with a pedigree, but he kicked out, and then Triple H hit Cactus Jack with a second pedigree onto the thumbtacks to win this match and retain the WWF Championship. And then afterwards, the paramedics, kind of stretchered Triple H off a stretcher. Then Cactus Jack grabbed Triple H while he's on the stretcher, pull him back into the ring, hit him with the barbed wire plank of wood, and that was it. So yeah, it was a really good match. I think like this has really established Triple H as the top heel in the company, because when he won the title, his first title in 1999 at SummerSlam, I think people were not buying into Triple H. He's not going to be like, is he going to thrive as the top heel, a main event player? But I think this match kind of like I don't call him 7 for life. It could really establish him being this top heel madman against Mick Foley. Actually, he took more. My only nitpick about this match, he took mostly the beating. He was, because Triple H was supposed to be the heel. He should have given Cactus Jack more the beating than himself. That's my only nitpick about it. So, like I said, Mick Foley and Triple H had some good chemistry. I really liked this match. It was a war between both guys. This is setting up the following month's match at No Way Out, the Hell in the Cell match. That was the epic Hell in the Cell match when Cactus Jack took like that back body drop on top of the Hell in the Cell wall. That led up to Mick Foley's retirement, because at the time, Mick Foley's body was breaking down, he cannot wrestle on a full-time basis anymore. And then he ended up like thrust into the WrestleMania 16 main event, lost that, and then he ended up becoming the commissioner of the company after their feud with Triple H, in the first half of the year. And anyway, so yeah, I think this was a really good match. Go and check it out, man. It's really good and a fun match to watch. So, yeah, people want to see Cactus Jack winning it. Mm, I don't think so. I don't think. I think at this moment in time, but I don't think. I think Mick doesn't really need to be the champion at this moment in time. I think, I think him losing was the right decision. To establish Triple H as the top heel. So let's move on to the main event. So the main event, we got the Royal Rumble match. Winner faced the WWF champion at WrestleMania 16. By the way, I'm not going to talk about this match. There's nothing much to talk about. It's not terrible. It was an okay Rumble match. So it's, in my opinion, this has got to be one of the most predictable Royal Rumble matches of all time, because it's clear that The Rock is winning. So, nothing much to talk about. You had Too Cole, had their moments like Rikishi. You could say I can call him the MVP in this match. He enters this ring. He enters this Rumble match as number 5, and eliminates 7 people in this match. And there was one moment with his 2 Cool members, Grandmaster Sexy and Sky Too High. They danced for a bit. Rikishi eliminated them. He got eliminated by 8 people. I think that was, or 7 people. Big Boss Man, Bob Backlund, Edge, Gangrel, Taz, and the British Bulldog. And this was the only best performance for Rikishi in a Rumble match. Besides that, there's nothing much to talk about. Yeah, you got members of Kai En Tai got involved. We'll get some more details of the Rumble match later on. So, only 2 members of Kai En Tai, that's Taka Michinoku and Funaki. I think it was on 2 or 3 occasions got involved, but they got beaten down throughout the ring. One more of the match, Taka kind of land awkwardly out of the ring. So Gangrel kind of throw Taka out of the ring. He kind of fall very awkwardly, and there's reports like Taka said I think it was a shoulder injury, a separated shoulder, a broken collarbone, and concussion. I don't know if that was true, but he took a nasty landing outside the ring. And then Lola was a bit of an annoying in this match. Keeps forcing keep playing the same replay of Taka landing very awkwardly outside the ring after he got thrown out of the ring by the other competitors in the Rumble match. And he keeps calling 2 members of Kai En Tai Chinese. He called Taka that Chinese guy. It'll never age well anyway. So you got also the Main Street Posse got involved. They're basically beating down the Acolytes, the future APA. And then Bradshaw just beat all 3 members of the group. I think it was Pete Gaz, Rodney? And Joey Abs. Yeah, Joey Abs, Rodney, and Pete Gas. They were just mostly beating down members of the Acolytes. One of them helped really distract Farouk. Farouk got eliminated by the Big Boss Man. And also this pay-per-view match was the final pay-per-view North American American pay-per-view appearance for the British Bulldog. He got released later on in that year, and then 2 years later, he passed away at the age of 39, nearly 40, because he was training for his comeback. Similar situation or circumstances of Rick Rude. Anyway, so China was, like I said, this was China's second and last Rumble appearance or Rumble match appearance. Got eliminated Chris Jericho, but got eliminated by the Big Boss Man. So it was kind of boring. It was kind of dragged a little bit. It was last about 53 minutes. The championship match between Triple H and Cactus Jack, that was 26 minutes, very close of half an hour. So the Iron Man of this Rumble match was Test. Test last about 26 minutes. Like I said, this is clearly The Rock's gonna win it because The Rock entered number 24. The final 4 competitors in this Rumble match, like I said, I don't want to talk about it because there's nothing much to talk about. The final 4 in this Rumble match are The Rock, The Big Show, Kane, and X-Pac. The final 2 was The Rock and Big Show. Like, Rock hit the Big Show with the People's Elbow. Big Show hit the Rock with the chokeslam. You got some really good like guys. Their characters are getting over at this moment in time. It's the Attitude Era, like Foul Venus. Doing the porn star gimmick. Godfather with the pimp gimmick. Um, you got some future world champions like Chris Jericho and Edge and Christian. But besides that, and JBL as Bradshaw. But besides that, not many of these field competitors are not believe enough to win or main event WrestleMania 16. It's just what it is. It's the like heartbroken truth. They got good, okay gimmicks, like cool gimmicks, but not really like they're not really. Some of these gimmicks are not really championship material. Anyway. Anyway, so in the end, The Rock was not The Rock. My apologies. The Big Show was trying to eliminate The Rock. He placed The Rock on his shoulder, trying to throw him out of the ring, but all this in a split second, The Rock basically in that brief second grabbed the ropes and tipped the Big Show out of the ring, and The Rock won this match and is going on to WrestleMania 16. He cut a promo says finally The Rock is going to WrestleMania for the second time, because the previous year he main event WrestleMania in 1999 against Stone Cold Steve Austin. That was a WrestleMania 15, and then out comes the Big Show, throw The Rock outside the ring, and that was it. That was the end of the show. Here's the detail of it. I think the finish of this match was, I think they're trying to recapture the 1994 Royal Rumble match. A little up to the co-winners, the one and only co-winners of Bret Hart and Lex Luger. Unfortunately, they didn't do that well. This video footage of Rock's both foot was touching the floor. They kind of acknowledge that. I'll get to that shortly. So, and also they change up in the last minute of the field comparators in this Rumble match. That's the reason why the Main Street Posse and Kaientai got involved. So, I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe I don't know why they're not in the Rumble match itself. What really the purpose, why they got involved in trying to attack the field of comparators. Don't know. Who knows? But anyway, so this is leading up to No Way Out between The Rock and Big Show. So, this set up their match at No Way Out between The Rock and Big Show with the championship match at WrestleMania opportunity on the line. Big Show defeated The Rock, and he's self-proclaimed going to face Triple H for the world title at WrestleMania 16, because Triple H is the man who beat the Big Show for the title on the first Raw of the year 2000. So unfortunately, that's not the case. So Rock basically forced back into the championship match at WrestleMania 16. And you know what I'm talking about. This is set up the four-way match at WrestleMania 16 with every McMahon member in the corners. If you want more information about this match, go to my playlist, click in the classic WWE pay-per-view review, and you'll probably find my review of WrestleMania 16 for more information. My final rating of Royal Rumble 2000. Overall, I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. It was a fun Rumble. Not a great Rumble, but at the same time, not really terrible. It was just, I think some of it was mediocre. But, the only thing in the bad for me has to be the Miss Rumble 2000 swimsuit contest. It didn't do nothing for me. It killed off the TV deal between the WWF and Channel 4. The better off done this on a weekly TV show. That's just me. But besides that, no bad matches on the show. There were okay matches on the show. Like the triple threat match for the Intercontinental title match. That was okay. I think they were better off if they didn't have Hardcore Holly in this match. Just have China and Jericho have their blow off. I don't think they truly have that blow off for the title. Don't know. The tag team title match between New Age Outlaws versus the Acolytes, way better than New Age Outlaws versus the Legion of Doom at Royal Rumble 98, but that was short. It was last about 2 minutes long. The Rumble match itself, it was okay. It was very predictable that The Rock's gonna win. And also there's some good match. There were also like there's only two matches worth good. You know, like Taz's debut was like in the good for me. The match itself was okay. You know, I put like Taz. I also put on the list Taz and Angle had an okay match, but I put Taz's debut, you know, in the good because it was really good. You could say top 20 or the top 50 best debuts in WWF WWE's history. Plus, you had the I like the tag team tables match between the Dudleys and the Hardys that set up their epic matches for them in the rest of the year 2000. Plus that championship, the WWF championship match between Triple H and Cactus Jack. That was a really good street fight. It set off the Hell in a Cell match pretty well. So anyway, yeah, it was 7.5 out of 10. A fun Rumble match, a fun Rumble pay-per-view to watch. I suggest watching it. You know, like I said, you can watch it for the street fight and the tables match, but some of the matches I give it a miss. So anyway, so hope you enjoy my review of Royal Rumble 2000. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash the like button, click the bell, subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube. Be part of the Central Unit for more wrestling videos and more. Next time we're in the month of February, so Royal Rumble season it will be in our review mirrors. And it got me thinking, let's review some classic, you know, whether it's no way out shows and Elimination Chamber shows. It got me thinking. The start of the month of January, I reviewed Royal Rumble 2003. That's known for Brock winning the Rumble match, and also that stinker between Triple H and Steiner. It got me thinking. Let's review the following month's pay-per-view. Rock Hogan, first time they face each other since WrestleMania 18 in Canada the previous year in 2002. This time their rematch is also in Canada, but it will be in Montreal. This will be the first pay-per-view for the company in Montreal since the Montreal Screwjob at Survivor Series. Plus, you got that stinker rematch between Triple H and Steiner. You know what I'm talking about. You know what show I'm going to review next. That is No Way Out 2000.